Not everything requires an explanation. In a world where people feel entitled to know every detail of your life, there is real power in keeping certain things private. The need to justify your actions, your choices, and your growth to others is not only unnecessary, it is draining. Every time you explain yourself, you invite opinions, doubts, and judgments that were never meant to be a part of your journey. The truth is, most people do not seek to understand. They seek to impose their own perspective onto your life. And when you allow that, you give away control over your own decisions. Growth is deeply personal. It does not always make sense to the people around you, and it does not have to. The decisions you make, the habits you break, and the shifts you embrace are yours alone to understand. When you start moving differently, prioritizing yourself, or setting boundaries, some will question you. They may accuse you of changing, distancing yourself, or becoming someone they do not recognize. Let them think what they want. Evolution is often misunderstood by those who refuse to grow themselves. You do not owe anyone an explanation for choosing yourself, for walking away from what no longer serves you, for deciding to heal, to improve, to seek more for yourself. People will always have opinions, but their understanding is not a requirement for your transformation. The need to explain is rooted in the desire for validation, but true confidence comes from within. When you know you are making the right choices for yourself, the opinions of others become irrelevant. There is a certain freedom that comes with no longer explaining yourself. It allows you to move without resistance, to make choices based on what feels right instead of what looks right to others. It protects your energy from the weight of unnecessary conversations, from the exhaustion of justifying what is already clear to you. When you stop explaining, you start trusting yourself more. You become less concerned with approval and more focused on alignment. This applies to every area of life. Your relationships do not need public justification. The way you choose to love, the people you choose to keep in your life, and the way you handle personal matters do not require an audience. The healthiest connections are built on mutual understanding, not on explanations to outsiders who are never meant to be involved. Your career choices, your ambitions, your goals, these are yours to pursue without external validation. Not everyone will understand why you take certain risks, why you work the way you do, or why you refuse to settle. That is not your burden to carry. You do not need to prove the value of your dreams to those who cannot see them. Move in silence, work relentlessly, and let your results be the only explanation you ever give. Even your struggles, your moments of uncertainty, and your personal battles do not need to be explained. There is strength in facing challenges privately, in processing your emotions without feeling the need to put them on display. Some will only listen out of curiosity, not genuine concern. Some will pretend to care, only to use your vulnerabilities against you later. The less you explain, the more control you have over your healing. At the core of this truth is self-trust. When you trust yourself fully, you do not seek permission, validation, or understanding. You walk your path with quiet confidence, knowing that not everyone needs to know where you are going. You owe no one an explanation for the way you choose to live your life. Your choices, your peace, your happiness, these are yours alone to protect. In the end, the strongest people are not the ones who explain themselves the most. They are the ones who move with quiet certainty. They do not waste energy convincing others of their worth, their vision, or their decisions. They simply live in alignment with their truth. And when you do that, explanations become unnecessary. Let people think what they want. Let them misunderstand you. The only thing that matters is that you understand yourself. But not everything in life needs to be announced. There is an undeniable power in keeping certain aspects of your life private, not out of secrecy, but out of wisdom. When you share too much, too soon, you invite unnecessary energy into your space, energy that can disrupt, delay, or even diminish the very thing you are trying to build. Silence is not weakness. It is a form of protection. It allows you to cultivate your growth without interference, to strengthen your foundation before the world gets a chance to question it. Your personal happiness is one of those things that should not be exposed carelessly. The moment you display it for public consumption, you open it up to external forces, opinions, envy, even silent resentment from those who wish they had what you have. Not everyone celebrates your joy. Some people mask their jealousy behind forced smiles and subtle negativity. They may not say it outright, but their energy shifts. The more you reveal, the more you invite people into your world who may not have the best intentions for you. This applies to your relationships as well. The most genuine, fulfilling connections are not the ones constantly broadcasted for validation, but the ones nurtured in private. Love does not need an audience. When you expose too much about your personal relationships, whether romantic, friendships, or family matters, you create space for unnecessary interference. People project their own experiences, biases, and insecurities onto your life. They offer unsolicited opinions, they compare, they analyze, and before you know it, their voices begin to shape the way you see something that was once pure. Some will plant seeds of doubt where there was none. Others will wait for signs of weakness just to confirm their own assumptions. The more you share, the more you give people access to something they have no business influencing. Your success, too, does not always need to be displayed prematurely. Many people sabotage their own progress by speaking too soon, by announcing their next moves before they have been fully realized. When you tell the world your plans before they have taken form, you invite distractions, opinions, and sometimes even silent opposition. Some people will support you to your face, but secretly hope you do not succeed. Some will take your ideas and run with them before you get the chance to fully execute them. When you protect your progress, you give yourself the time and space to build something real, something unshakable. Let your success be revealed through your results, not through words. There is also power in keeping your healing process private. Growth is a deeply personal journey, one that does not need to be explained or justified to others. The pain you have endured, the lessons you are learning, and the transformation you are undergoing are for you alone to understand. Some people will pretend to care, but they are only collecting information. Others will listen, not to help, but to compare their struggles with yours. When you keep your healing sacred, you allow yourself to fully process, to fully evolve without the weight of external judgment or expectation. Your struggles, your setbacks, your moments of uncertainty, these do not need to be displayed for validation or sympathy. Strength is built in silence. Some of the most powerful transformations happen when no one is watching. The moment you make every hardship public, you give others the opportunity to define your story for you. But when you handle it privately, you emerge stronger with a wisdom that cannot be questioned or diminished by outside voices. At its core, discretion is not about hiding. It is about understanding the value of privacy. It is about recognizing that not everything requires an audience, that not every experience needs to be shared. When you protect what matters most, you give it the best chance to grow without interruption. Silence is a tool, a shield, a strategy. It keeps your energy intact, your focus sharp, and your progress unshaken by unnecessary influence. In the end, the most powerful people are not those who reveal everything they are doing, but those who move with quiet confidence. They do not need validation, they do not seek approval, and they do not invite opinions that were never meant to shape their path. They understand that privacy is not isolation, it is self-preservation. Protect your joy, guard your peace, move in silence, and when the time is right, let your results speak for you. There is a certain strength in keeping your next move private. In a world where people are eager to showcase every step of their journey, the ones who move in silence hold the real power. When you reveal too much, too soon, you give others the chance to interfere, whether consciously or unconsciously. The energy surrounding your plans is delicate. It requires focus, discipline, and a clear path forward. But when too many voices enter the conversation, that energy begins to shift. You start to second guess yourself, absorbing the doubts, fears, and unsolicited advice of those who do not see your vision the way you do. Every great achievement begins in the unseen. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who constantly talk about what they are going to do, they are the ones who quietly do it. They understand that revealing a plan before it is fully formed exposes it to unnecessary forces, doubt, competition, envy, and even sabotage. When you keep your next move private, you allow it to develop in its purest form, untouched by outside opinions or distractions. People are unpredictable. Some will support you, while others will project their limitations onto you. Even those who genuinely care about you may unintentionally plant seeds of doubt. They may ask, "Are you sure this is the right decision?" Or, "What if it doesn't work out?" And suddenly, a vision that once felt crystal clear is now clouded with hesitation. The mind is powerful, and once doubt enters, it can spread like wildfire, weakening the belief that fuels your success. Keeping your next move private also prevents unnecessary pressure. When you announce your plans to the world, you create expectations, not just for yourself, but for others who are watching. This pressure can lead to rushed decisions, anxiety, and even a sense of obligation to prove something to people who do not truly matter in your journey. But when you move in silence, you are free to make adjustments, to pivot when necessary, and to build without the weight of external judgment. This principle extends beyond career moves or financial plans. It applies to relationships, self-improvement, and even personal healing. Not everyone needs to know the details of your romantic life. The healthiest relationships are not the ones constantly displayed for validation, but the ones that are nurtured in private. Growth, too, happens in silence. The person you are becoming does not need to be explained. There is no need to justify your evolution to those who may never understand it. Simply become, and let your transformation speak for itself. When you move quietly, you also gain a strategic advantage. The element of surprise is powerful. If people do not know your next step, they cannot prepare for it, react to it, or attempt to interfere. Many dreams have been derailed because they were revealed to the wrong people too soon. The less people know, the more control you have over your own destiny. Some may misinterpret your silence. They may assume you are doing nothing, that you lack direction, or that you have lost momentum. Let them think what they want. The truth is, real success is not about public declarations. It is about consistent action. The strongest moves are the ones that happen behind the scenes, the ones that are built without an audience, the ones that are revealed only when they are complete. You do not need to explain yourself. You do not need to seek validation. The world does not need to know every detail of your journey. What matters is that you stay focused, that you stay committed, and that you trust yourself enough to build without external interference. Let your results do the talking. Let your success be the only announcement you make. In the end, the greatest moves are not the ones that are spoken about, but the ones that are executed with precision and revealed only when the time is right. Keep your vision clear, protect your energy, move in silence, and let your results speak louder than any words ever could. Not everything in life is meant to be shared. In a world where oversharing has become the norm, the ability to keep certain things private is a sign of wisdom and strength. There is power in discretion, in knowing what to reveal and what to keep to yourself. Some aspects of your life are sacred, and when you expose them unnecessarily, you invite energy that may not align with your growth. Your personal struggles, for example, should not be public knowledge. While it is natural to seek support, not everyone who listens to your story truly cares. Some people are simply curious, others are waiting for a moment of weakness to use against you, and some will pretend to be concerned while secretly feeling relieved that it is you, not them, who is struggling. Pain is not meant to be a performance. It is meant to be processed, understood, and healed in a space that is safe and supportive. The more you share your struggles with the wrong people, the more you open yourself up to judgment, pity, or even manipulation. Your financial situation is another area where silence is powerful. Whether you are struggling or thriving, exposing your finances makes you vulnerable. If you are doing well, people may develop expectations, assuming you have resources to spare. If you are struggling, you may become a subject of gossip or even attract those who wish to take advantage of your situation. Money is energy, and when too many people are aware of your financial standing, their energy, whether envy, expectation, or judgment, can subtly affect your financial flow. The less people know, the more control you have over your own resources. Relationships, too, thrive in privacy. The strongest bonds are not the ones constantly displayed for the world to see, but the ones nurtured in quiet understanding. When you expose too much about your personal relationships, whether romantic, familial, or friendships, you invite external opinions, criticism, and sometimes interference. People project their own experiences, biases, and insecurities onto your relationships, which can create unnecessary tension. The more you involve outside voices, the more complicated things become. The healthiest relationships are not built for public consumption. They are built on trust, mutual respect, and a level of intimacy that does not require validation. Your plans and ambitions should also be guarded carefully. Not everyone around you genuinely supports your growth. Some may appear encouraging, but deep down, they fear your success because it highlights their own stagnation. When you announce your plans prematurely, you invite opinions that can plant doubt in your mind. Even well-meaning advice can sometimes lead you astray, pulling you away from your original vision. The best way to ensure your goals come to life is to protect them in the early stages, allowing them to develop without interference. Work in silence, let your progress speak, and reveal your success only when it is undeniable. Even your deepest dreams and desires should not be shared carelessly. When you speak about your biggest aspirations, you expose them to energy that may not align with your purpose. Some will question your vision, some will dismiss it, and some may even attempt to discourage you. The mind is sensitive to external influence, and too much exposure to doubt can weaken your belief in yourself. The most powerful dreams are those that are nurtured in the quiet spaces of your heart and mind, protected until they are strong enough to withstand outside scrutiny. There is a profound strength in moving in silence. It is not about secrecy, it is about intention. It is about understanding that not everything needs an audience, that some things are meant to be built in solitude, and that true power comes from knowing when to share and when to hold back. The less you expose, the more you control your own energy. The more you protect your personal life, the stronger you become. Privacy is not about hiding. It is about maintaining the sacredness of the things that truly matter. What you keep to yourself, you preserve. What you guard, you strengthen. And what you choose to keep private becomes the foundation of a life that is truly yours, untouched by the noise and influence of the outside world. Your energy is your most valuable resource. It is the force that shapes your reality, the fuel that powers your dreams, and the foundation of your well-being. Yet so many people give it away carelessly, sharing their deepest desires, struggles, and plans with the world, unaware of the invisible forces at play. Every time you speak about your goals prematurely, you invite energy that may not align with your vision. The more you share, the more you expose yourself to doubt, skepticism, and negativity. Not everyone listening to you wants to see you succeed. Some will silently hope for your failure, others will question your capabilities, and even well-meaning people might project their own fears onto you. Their words, their thoughts, their energy, whether spoken or unspoken, can interfere with the frequency you are trying to align with. The most successful people understand the power of silence. They know that dreams are fragile in their early stages, like a seed that needs the right environment to grow. If you plant that seed in soil that is constantly disturbed, it will never take root. Likewise, when you speak too soon about your aspirations, you allow others to tamper with them. Even a single negative remark can plant doubt in your mind, causing hesitation where there should be confidence. This applies not only to goals, but also to personal struggles. When you openly share your difficulties with the wrong people, you risk turning your pain into entertainment for others. There are those who will pretend to listen, but deep down, they are relieved it is you going through the hardship and not them. Instead of offering real support, they will watch from a distance, fueling their curiosity rather than your healing. True healing happens internally, in moments of reflection, when you face yourself without the noise of external opinions. Financial matters are another aspect of life that should be guarded. Whether you are thriving or struggling, exposing your financial situation invites unnecessary energy. Those who see you as successful may expect favors, while those who see you struggling may either pity you or use that information against you. Money is energy, and when you allow too many people to be involved in your financial affairs, you risk unnecessary complications that can drain your focus. Relationships also thrive in privacy. When you constantly discuss your personal relationships, whether romantic, familial, or friendships, you invite opinions, judgment, and sometimes interference. The healthiest relationships are not the ones that are constantly broadcasted, but the ones that are nurtured in quiet understanding. What exists between two people is sacred and should not be diluted by external perspectives. Your past mistakes, fears, and weaknesses should also be handled with discretion. Growth is an internal process. The more you share about your past, the more you reinforce an identity that you are trying to outgrow. People will always remember what you tell them, and some will never let you move beyond it. If you constantly remind the world of your past struggles, you risk being defined by them instead of your progress. Even kindness does not need an audience. True generosity comes from the heart, not from a need for validation. When you give, give in silence. Let the impact of your actions speak for itself. The moment you seek recognition for your good deeds, you shift the intention from pure giving to seeking approval. The highest form of kindness is the one that is felt, not advertised. Your energy must be protected at all costs. The less you expose, the more control you have over your life. It is not about secrecy, it is about intentionality. It is about understanding that not everything needs to be shared, that your goals, struggles, and growth deserve to be nurtured without unnecessary external influence. Mastering silence is mastering self-discipline. It is the ability to move with confidence without the need for external validation. When you keep your energy intact, you allow it to work in your favor, creating a life that is aligned with your highest potential. What you protect, you empower. What you guard, you strengthen. And what you choose to keep sacred becomes the foundation of a reality that no one else can disrupt. There is an undeniable power in silence. The way you move, the way you work, and the way you build your future does not need an audience. In a world obsessed with validation, many people feel the need to announce every step they take, seeking approval before they even achieve anything. But the truth is, the loudest plans often fail, not because they are unworthy, but because they were spoken into an environment that was not meant to receive them. When you reveal your next move too soon, you give people the opportunity to interfere, to cast doubt, or to even work against you. Not everyone who listens to you wants to see you succeed. Some are simply waiting for the chance to see you stumble. There is a reason why the most successful individuals move in silence. They understand that every goal, every dream, and every transformation requires a period of solitude. Growth happens in the quiet moments when no one is watching. The mind is most powerful when it is focused, undisturbed by external opinions. When you share your plans too soon, you open the door for resistance, for unnecessary opinions that can shift your perspective. Even the most well-meaning people can project their fears onto you, making you second-guess your own abilities. What if it doesn't work? What if you're not ready? These questions, once planted in your mind, create hesitation where there should be confidence. Keeping your next move private does not mean you lack trust. It means you understand the importance of energy. Every goal you set carries a certain frequency, and that frequency needs to be protected. The more voices you allow in, the more diluted your vision becomes. Every person you tell adds their own energy to your plan, and not all energy is supportive. Some will challenge you simply because they cannot see what you see. Some will discourage you because they never had the courage to chase their own dreams. And some will secretly hope for your failure because your success reminds them of their own stagnation. Silence is a strategy, not a weakness. Moving in silence allows you to build without distraction, to focus without unnecessary influence. Imagine planting a seed in the ground. You do not dig it up every day to show people how it is growing. You water it, you nurture it, and you allow nature to take its course. The same principle applies to your goals. Work on them, refine them, give them the time they need to flourish, and when they are ready, the results will speak for themselves. Your success should not be a promise. It should be proof. When you quietly put in the work, when you stay disciplined, and when you let your actions do the talking, you eliminate the need for validation. The people who doubted you will have no choice but to acknowledge your results. The ones who dismissed you will wonder how you did it. And those who secretly wished for your failure will be left with nothing to say. This principle applies to all areas of life, whether it is career growth, financial success, personal transformation, or even relationships. Privacy is power. The healthiest relationships are not the ones that are constantly showcased, but the ones that are nurtured behind closed doors. The most stable financial growth is not the one that is publicly discussed, but the one that is built with quiet discipline. True self-improvement is not about telling the world you are changing. It is about becoming the kind of person who does not need to explain their transformation. The world is filled with distractions. Every time you share your next move, you invite unnecessary noise. People will question you, analyze you, compare you to others, and sometimes even try to manipulate your path. But when you move in silence, you eliminate all external interference. You become the master of your own energy, the architect of your own destiny. Some may misunderstand your silence. They may think you are doing nothing, that you are stuck, or that you have lost direction. Let them think what they want. The ones who truly understand the power of silence will recognize that you are simply focused, that you are working, evolving, growing, and when the time is right, your results will say everything that words never could. Not everything needs to be announced. Not every move requires an audience. The most powerful transformations happen in the quiet moments, away from the noise, away from the expectations of others. When you master the ability to move in silence, you master the ability to control your own destiny. Let your actions be your voice. Let your results be your proof. And let the world watch in silence as you rise.